Now we have some more scanner traffic from first responders as they were just getting there, and it's audio that comes to Fox News from broadcastify.com.
As soon as my guys hit one more store, we're going to keep our team at this choke point. Second floor escalators above the food court with the victims. We're going to keep this choke point and hold it. I'd say you pull everybody to a spot and you rework it. If you want to leave a choke point somewhere else, but pull everybody else out, organize and rework it and figure out how you systematically want to clear. Some of these businesses have people inside because they cannot get out the back, and we're not bringing them through the center of the mall.
That kind of methodology, that kind of planning is not an accident. Rod Wheeler, former D.C. homicide detective, Fox News contributor, used to be part of the Star homicide detective team there. Rod, what can you tell us about how organized they were and now these reports of robots at the mall?
Sure. Well, I'll tell you firsthand, Harris, because, I was only a mile away today when that first call went out about the shooting. I didn't know where the police officers were responding to, but I actually counted at least a dozen, if not 2 dozen, fly past me at a high rate of speed heading towards the mall. And then that's when I found out about the shooting. The way that they approached that mall was very textbook, and they did a tremendous job, Harris. Real quickly, what they did, it almost appeared as though they had been practicing recently, because every police car that arrived, they went to a specific area, and that's where they held their posts. They went in, and then, of course, that's when they found the victims initially. They also had to, pour over that mall, everywhere in that mall, to make sure that there was no one else left in the mall who could have been out hiding out, and then, of course, making sure there was not another shooter somewhere in the mall.
I want to talk about those robots because that's something we're learning about tonight. Is this routine or something based on a specific threat, do you think?
Well, that's an excellent question. It's routine. And let me tell you why. I can tell you exactly why they brought the robot and a bomb-sniffing dog in, because you've heard the reports all day today, Harris, that there was a lot of ammunition found with one of the victims. Well, if there's a lot of ammunition with that particular person and he used a shotgun to commit the crime, then the question becomes whether or not this guy has a vehicle somewhere in the area, maybe at his home, whether or not he has booby traps set up. We don't know, but as you well know, we learned that the hard way with Newtown when Adam Lanza did what he did with the booby trap. So that's why they're bringing this in. And this is actually, Harris, becoming a standard protocol now for police departments all over the country.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And where did they deploy these robots first? I would imagine that there's certain areas where they want to look first, whether or not they have like a node or anything like that. So where do they go first?
Well, the first place that I think they're going to go in this case is probably to the alley. There's an alleyway behind all of those stores there at that mall. So they're going to check that area first. And then what you do, you go to where the actual crime occurred, the store where the crime occurred, and you work your way out. You work your way backwards. And that's the way the robots and actually the dogs will operate.
All right. Real quickly before I let you go, when this was breaking this afternoon, you were on the air with me, and I asked you a question about metal detectors. And we got kind of a surprise from you because I kind of thought you might handle us a little bit like, well, let's see how this shakes out. You were quick to say, no, that's where we're going.
I think that is where we're going, Harris. I mean, let's face it. I mean, you look all around the country, we're starting to see more and more of these situations. We have to be more proactive and do more to try to make sure that our shopping malls remain safe and secure. Let's look at that situation over in Nairobi, Kenya. Horrific situation. We have to learn from that. And I do believe at some point, I know at some malls, we're going to have to institute that type of security measure just to make sure that, the mall and the people that's using the mall remain safe.
Yeah, you remember earlier you said that some malls on the West Coast were already starting to try this out. But in the meantime, these training operations certainly it would look like these teams up today to do the fantastic quick job that they did. Rod Wheeler, we appreciate your experience and your perspective tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Harris.